Hi, I'm Corbett Lunsford from Green Dream Group in Chicago. On behalf of Building Performance Workshop, I'd like to demonstrate that while there are many different ways to set up a blower door, there's one way to do it very well that's not going to scare your client. In fact, it'll make them think that you are the most elegant and graceful person that they've ever had in their house. And with this giant piece of clumsy equipment, that's quite a feat. So I'd like to demonstrate by starting out on the floor, because first of all, you don't want your blower door frame to fall over and crash on anything, because that means that you'll have to pay for it. So we start on the floor because it's the easiest. You don't have to fight gravity, which is one of the rules, by the way, at Building Performance Workshop. Important to remember, gravity goes down. Try not to fight it whenever you possibly can. All right. Now I'm on the inside of my blower door frame, which is very useful because it keeps me from scrambling around the edge of it. This is a good place to live, and that's one of the themes of setting up this blower door in an elegant way. Now, since I'm already inside the frame, I'm going to simply grab it and stand up, making sure that I'm not going to knock anything over that's a chandelier or something hanging from the ceiling. All right. Now, to fit my frame in this exterior door, I want to make sure not to fight gravity. Gravity goes down, so I start at the bottom, so I don't have to fight against it. I put the frame exactly where the door was so that it perfectly replaces it. Put my hand right here at the junction so that I can place pressure on both sides of the frame, and with my other hand, simply tighten down this knob to a reasonable amount. Don't hit the cam yet, that's for the last step. Now I'm going to move up to the left side of my frame here, get this nice and tight, and tighten down the knob. Likewise on the top. Instead of struggling too much, I'm going to put my hand at the exact right place to place pressure on both sides of the frame. Tighten down the knob, and on the final side. Now when I take this out, it should be a little sticky so that I know that I did a pretty good job of putting it in there. And since it's cold outside, I'm going to go ahead and close this door so I can save my occupants against the cold weather. Now I can leave this here, since there's a nice open space for it, while I get my nylon ready on the floor. Velcro faces up towards you, and so does the patch. Since all of the Velcro on this nylon is adjustable, except for the bottom, we're going to start at the bottom. And making sure that we have a nice round hole here and not one that's saggy, we're going to continue up the frame. Feeling free to work the inside of the door until we get to the top. And we have a perfectly presentable blower door. And before I pick this up, I'm going to drop my reference hose outside so that I don't have to crawl through that later. Again, I'm working the inside of my door so I can pick this up very easily. And I'm taking care to watch out for any chandeliers or hanging light fixtures or fans so that I don't knock this into them. Sometimes you get some pretty tall doors. And I'm going to get this set up. Now I've left the other end of my reference hose just outside the door, and I'm going to go ahead and install the frame. Starting at the bottom, hinge side first. And then the other side of the bottom, and then the top. I can immediately reach through instead of crawling through the door and dropping my reference hose, and just pick it up right here. String it through my hole, and I can start locking down. Again, I start at the bottom since I want to avoid fighting gravity. Locking down all the cams. And the middle piece. And again, using one hand to create tension on the frame at this point, with the other hand tightening down the knob and locking down the cam. And at this point, give it a good shake, make sure it's not going to pop out and hit me on the head when I'm running the fan, and I'm ready to put the fan in place. Again, gravity goes down, so we start with the bottom lip of the fan going into the nylon and then work our way up. And if you want to go the extra mile, make sure that the strap is just underneath the middle of this patch and that it's also right in the middle of the fan handle. And you have a very nice looking installation. When you've wired your manometer and your blower door according to your blower door manual, which if you haven't read, it's a good idea that you do so, then you're ready to get your baseline pressure reading. First, you need to get into the right mode, which for most people, if you're going to be running a 1-point test, is pressure flow at 50. And then we want to hit baseline, start, and when you're ready to accept the baseline number, you hit enter. Now in the meantime, you want to make sure that your fan panels are in place because we want to be measuring the baseline pressure differential between inside and outside, and if the fan panels are not on, there isn't going to be any differential, it'll be the same. So your fan panels are in place, we're ready to accept our baseline. We hit enter. The next step you'd want to take is configure your rings that the manometer is going to think you're using to the rings that you're going to be using on the blower door, and then you're ready to begin your test. Now before you begin, you need to remember, if you haven't had formal training in this, do not attempt this test under any circumstances. Once you've had your formal training, and this is a review, you need to make sure that all your combustion appliances are piloted or off, all your P-traps are filled, all of the doors inside the house are open, all the doors and windows outside the house are closed, etc., and you're ready to begin your test. Good luck with your blower door tests in the future, and thank you very much for watching.